All right, now I'll go over some cryptocurrencies in this video. So we have to always start with the SPY and the Nasdaq. At least I'm not going to cover the other major markets, but as you can see, Friday we gapped down. We lost the ascending support. We've long predicted this move down. This loss of the ascending support was never in doubt. You can check the older videos for that. The Nasdaq, this is the barometer I'm going to use for the general markets when comparing it to the crypto world, particular Bitcoin, because the Nasdaq is the tech market, and that's the one that Bitcoin is affiliated to the most. So we moved down, we hit ascending support, we had a bit of a pop, quite a few people got excited. I knew we'd come back down, not that quickly, but this was a bad CPI print. That was the time that was really the day where the reversal was guaranteed. The next day we went sideways, not much. It's an inside day candle, nothing crazy. Next day, straight away breakdown. It's the same across all the other markets, closed lower than we've done for a long time, outside of the ascending support. Again, this was also the case in the other markets, I think, except the Russell. And then on Friday, and actually this doesn't look that bad, but still it was a red day. We gapped down more on the other markets like the S&P. We rallied a little bit, but all in all, nothing to get excited of. The best thing we can do is maybe rally to the ascending support across all the markets. But for me, this really is maximum 1 or 2 days in the future. Otherwise, we're just rolling over and then testing the lows. That's my opinion. So far, very good track record. Now let's look at, I'm not going to bother with the VIX or even yields. I think everything is related and everything. When I'm doing my crypto videos, I don't want to go too much into the general markets. I know people who watch these crypto videos really want to just watch the crypto assets more than everything related to the general markets, but just know that everything is priced in to the general market. So yields have been going up. I do think that yields, it's funny now I'm actually going into the general markets, but I do think that yields are going to reverse for a few days. Maybe they've topped out a little bit. I'm looking at the 10-year yield. I just feel like it's maybe double topped, might come back down before ultimately breaking out again. So we may have a bit of a relief reversal for 1 or 2 days, which should equate to maybe moving back up with the Nasdaq. Also with the dollar, it's the same thing as yields. I just feel like it's a bit exhausted here. If you zoom in, might come back down a little bit before ultimately going higher. What does this mean for crypto? Now, crypto has just been following the markets. I think all the crypto people have acquiesced to this notion that ultimately, back in a few months or even years ago, it was totally independent, had the great times. But when the markets really started to fall, Bitcoin just got dragged down with it. And it's the same with all the other assets. It does help and keep things simple, but ultimately that big drop on the CPI day was also the big drop in the Bitcoin world. After it had a nice rally, I think it was 10% this day. I mean, all we did really was rally back to prior sideways action over here, because and I recognize this too. We lost ascending support. 25k was never cracked. The markets had gone up a lot during this period, so Bitcoin was relatively weak. As soon as we lost ascending support, it had to test the lows down here. I said at the time it happened. Then we kept on rolling over as the markets came down, but Bitcoin actually outperformed the markets that started to tumble down here. And then when we had the markets reversed a little bit, Bitcoin really popped. So it actually outperformed because it wanted to here. But on that CPI day, down we came. And now we're just, fading lower. And actually now we're Sunday night, so markets are closed, obviously. But Bitcoin and especially Ethereum, Ethereum was very, very strong leading up to the merge, but it seemed to be a sell the news, buy the rumors, sell the facts, sell the news, just typical Wall Street action. And now Ethereum remains weaker, relatively speaking. I mean, look at this, -9%, whilst Bitcoin is just -3%. That's been the case for a few days. I don't know where my Ethereum versus Bitcoin stock is. But anyway, you can imagine that's just been going down. So Ethereum could lead the crypto world lower. Otherwise, I feel like we might stabilize for 1 or 2 days, because I just feel like yields may reverse and go lower, and the stock market may reverse for 1 or 2 days, but ultimately going down in the stock market, and therefore the crypto market will go down, which means I can see, okay, obviously Bitcoin may just hold the support if we do reverse for 1 or 2 days, but I don't think we're breaking out of this downtrend line, which I think is pretty credible, actually. So I think we just sort of hold around this range, 18,500 to, let's call it 20,500, maximum 21,000, but ultimately we break down as the market breaks down. Let's see though, because at the moment, Ethereum is sort of pushing everything lower. So will Ethereum get to 1,000? Yes, pretty soon, is my opinion. I like to have actual answers rather than stay vague. Although I do, again, the dollar, the yields could reverse, sort of putting a bit of a floor in stocks for 1 or 2 days. But if the selling just continues tomorrow, then I don't think we can expect Ethereum to go all the way down to 1,000 so quickly. That would be like a 30% drop or something. No, sorry, 20. But that's a bit too much for 1 or 2 days. Although look, Ethereum's down almost 10% right now. But I do feel like Bitcoin could at least test its lows, 18,500. But those are for the sort of very short-term day traders who may want to look for 5-10% move. I am still out of the cryptos. I would love to buy it when the market bottoms. I think a lot of people agree that it's one of the assets, or the asset, that will bounce the most. So I'd love to catch that knife perfectly. I'm not in cryptos. Like I said, the only stock associated with crypto that I'm in is Hive. Here it is, totally following, should be following Ethereum more than anything. So I'd expect this to come back down at the open, at least $4, maybe lower. And if Ethereum goes down to 1,000, I'd expect it to be at around $3. And if the world plunges, continues, which I think will happen, then I can expect Ethereum to go and test basically its lows. It did a reverse split, so right now it's priced a bit differently than it was down here when I was first in it. Beautiful stock to trade, to be in when the crypto world does turn, a bit like the other sister stocks like Mara, like Riot. They really do catapult higher. But at the moment, I'm staying out, even though I think we might have a bit of a move sideways if the market turns. But right now, they're pretty weak. I mean, look at Ethereum. It's lost its support here. Call it $1,400. So next stop really is 1,200, and then after that 1,000, and then, well, then you're probably seeing the whole crypto world down. What I will also say is Bitcoin dominance is acting quite strong at the moment. Now, I think we've got 3 levels that we've been trading around this range here between, let's call it 40, just under 40 to 49, let's call it. And we can see this bounce here broke out of its descending trend line, moved up to 40, let's call it just under 42, 41.5. And now we're testing it again. If we break out of that, I expect to go to 44 on Bitcoin dominance, which coincides with Ethereum really underperforming Bitcoin. I think those two boys, when Ethereum underperforms Bitcoin, basically Bitcoin dominance goes up, and that sort of, spreads into all the other alternative crypto coins. So here you can see I've actually got my crypto versus BTC section. You can see it's all red by quite a bit. I mean, it all makes sense. It's all mathematical anyway, so it makes sense. But Bitcoin is, let's just say Ethereum is now really underperforming Bitcoin. It's the sell the news, after buying the fact. And this went up basically 100% from 1,000 to 2,000 on the dot. And a lot of people thought, oh, the merger is going to lead. In fact, even me, I actually think I don't follow the news too much or even the crypto world that much compared to others. But I just thought, yeah, the merge is good. So far, price action is good. But typical Wall Street sell the news. And now, we could go, like I said, 1,200 on Ethereum. And if the markets do tumble, again, I think we might have 1 or 2 days where we go sideways, but basically we're going to fall back down. And if we fall back down, then I think Bitcoin very quickly is testing 17,500. And let's be honest, if we're at 17,500, we're going to go lower. I mean, we're not going to go there and just, okay, maybe we go sideways again 1 or 2 days, but that's irrelevant. We're going there to take out the stops. And if we take out the stops, I said this before, I think we're going down to basically 13, 14,000. So watch out with crypto. If you're day trading it, fine. Maybe you can trade a bounce if you see yields, the 10-year especially, and the 2-year. If you see yields sort of reverse and with the dollar reversing, back down. If you see those two reversing lower, the dollar and yields, and at the same time, it translates to stock prices going up. So maybe the S&P fills this gap, maybe it goes back to test ascending support. That should give a nice boost to crypto for 1 or 2, 3 days max. I think that should be used as a selling opportunity. You don't have to sell all of it, but just maybe sell what you bought if it's in profit. You've got to trade these ranges because ultimately I think we flush. We go down to 17,500-ish and we flush. And then from there, I think it can very quickly go to 14,000 and then we've got to see what the general markets are doing. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I want to keep it nice and quick. Let me know what you think, etc., etc. Thanks.